Ha! Yes! We have waited years for this, haven't we? Because today, we're talking about the amazing Detroit Red Wings news that was given to us last night. You see, I was interested in making a video about this, but then I was like, wait a minute, it's 10 p.m. in Detroit. It's a little bit late. Some of the fans might be going to bed at this time, which is okay, because, sleeping in early on a Friday is definitely a great way to rejuvenate your sleep. But now that it's Saturday morning, we have an opportunity to talk about two of the best Red Wings prospects and the awards that they have won. Because today, we are talking about Max Plante, and we are also talking about Trey Augustine. Let's start out with the big one, the bad one, the best of the best, because Red Wings prospect Max Plante has just won the Hobey Baker Award in the NCAA. He is the 2026 recipient of the Hobey Baker Memorial Award. Max Plante, congratulations out of the University of Minnesota, Duluth. Obviously, Plante has made himself known in the Red Wings organization the past few years. He's 20 years old, 5'11", 176 pounds, left-handed center, so maybe not the biggest guy on the block. But Plante was a 47th overall pick by the Detroit Red Wings 2 years ago. And we did mention this back when he was drafted in 2024. This guy was a pretty good point producer in his NTDP days. Over a point per game with the national team in his draft-eligible season. Way over a point per game at the U18s that year. And then the next 2 seasons saw Max Plante put up some consistent numbers with the Minnesota Duluth NCAA program. 28 points in 23 games as a freshman, and then this season, he put up 52 points in 40 games played, 25 goals, and 27 assists. Add on to this 2 stints at the World Juniors for Team USA, where he was able to go out there and win himself a gold medal. It's a pretty decorated resume here for a very young Red Wings prospect. And for Plante to win the Hobey Baker Award, it puts him in a pretty good list of company when you take a look at some of the other guys who have won this award too. Isaac Howard won last year, although unfortunately, it's not necessarily like Isaac Howard is having the best NHL career so far. I mean, he is over a point per game in the AHL, but he had 5 points in 28 Oilers games this previous season. Macklin Celebrini won the Hobey Baker in 2024. Adam Fantilli won it in 2023. Dryden McKay won it the year before that. I'm not even too sure if McKay is an NHL-level prospect. Okay, he's in the ECHL for the Bloomington Bison. He had some AHL games, or an AHL game a few years ago, and then he played with the Marlies as well after getting his Hobey Baker. So maybe Dryden McKay at 28 years old isn't necessarily the most projectable long-term name, but some of these other guys, Cole Caulfield, Cale Makar, Jack Eichel, Johnny Gaudreau, there are some very talented players that win the Hobey Baker once in a while, and Max Plante is obviously hoping he is more of a Celebrini than the rest. Let's go out there and read some of the comments on Red Wings fan subreddit sentiment over here. Want to take a guess on who the last 2 19-year-old sophomore Hobey Baker winners were? Cale Makar and Cole Caulfield. The 18-year-old freshman winners were Celebrini, Fantilli, and Eichel. Max is in good company. A reply says, I pray this is not another Lucas Raymond comparison, Nikita Kucherov type of thing, getting my hopes up. I do hope that Plante maintains his trajectory of improvement, though. Definitely a high upside prospect. Way to go, Max. We are rooting for you here in Hockeytown. Did he say he is definitely going back next year? Yes. His other brother is joining. Another reply says not confirmed, but then a secondary reply says, I heard his interview earlier this week on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, and it definitely sounded like Plante is leaning towards going back in the fall. I'm sure getting lured to get legit NHL playing time is possible. It's not like Augustine, where goalies have to marinate in the minors for quite a bit. From what Dylan James said recently, Detroit is crazy patient with NCAA prospects and will give them time and space. I think it'd be easier to promise him NHL time after next season than this, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. So whether or not Max Plante finds himself in a Detroit Red Wings jersey this upcoming season remains to be seen, but it's looking unlikely. Especially with his brother potentially joining the program as well, that gives him all the more reason to go back for a junior season and then potentially decide to sign with the Red Wings after. But I'm thinking about it like this. Hey, the guy had 52 points in 40 games. He was number 1 in the nation in points for most of the season. And he's going to go back with a newfound motivation because his brother's going to be there? I don't know if the NCAA is ready for Max Plante to go out there and torch this league more than he had this season. But with that said, we have to talk about Red Wings prospects that did end up signing and that also have awards to show for, as awarded out yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, Trey Augustine is your 2026 Mike Richter Award winner in the National Collegiate Athletes Association. He has gotten himself the, essentially, Vezina Trophy of college hockey this year, and I think a lot of people would go out there and say that it's pretty deserved when you consider what he has been able to do. Trey Augustine is 21 years old, 6'1", 194, another second-round pick by the Detroit Red Wings, this time in 2023. And Augustine had a .929 save percentage in 34 games played for Michigan State University this season. 2-1-1 goals against, 3 shutouts, and he had a 24-9-1 record. Not bad for a player that has spent 3 seasons already in the NCAA developing. Add to this his back-to-back World Junior gold medals that he ended up winning for the American team, and Augustine has a profile that is very attractive for anybody looking towards the future of NCAA to NHL goaltending prospects. But also in the realm of Trey Augustine, yesterday, not only did he get himself the 2026 Mike Richter Award, but he also showed off his new practice mask with the Grand Rapids Griffins. This is a pretty good bucket over here. Obviously, it took a little bit of time for Trey Augustine to wrap up his time with Michigan State University and then get his new goalie mask for the Detroit Red Wings, but it finally came in yesterday. He suited up with it in practice. And further to that point, Augustine also made his professional debut yesterday for the Grand Rapids Griffins. Unfortunately, though, he ended up losing the game. It was against the Chicago Wolves, and he let in 3 goals on 29 total shots against. So he had 26 saves, 59-15 time on ice, and an .897 save percentage. Maybe not the best opening day performance for a guy to suit up in the American Hockey League, but hey, he's in a pro hockey situation now, so obviously this will help him out into the future. Also, he's not getting paid either, since his ELC starts next season. He is just on an amateur tryout at the moment. So Trey Augustine going out there, finishing off this NCAA season as the Mike Richter Award winner. Max Plante finishing off this season as the Hobey Baker winner. This is a really big day for Detroit Red Wings prospects, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How does all this make you feel? How excited are you for the future of Detroit Red Wings goaltending? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.